Welcome to the Leather Journey. The excitement never ends around here. Tonight we've got a toy review. It's been a while since we did a video or created any content. Been really busy. June we were at Southeast Leather Fest. I had the honor to do a 3-hour whip intensive. And then in July we were in the upper part of the New York region doing an event called Weekend of Wickedness, which is a great event. We do that event every year. But we're back home, and I have a treat for us tonight. TheIrishScott, who is a leather crafter in the Jacksonville, Florida area, sent me some things to look at and review. And I've already opened it and looked at them, but I'm gonna pull them out and show you what he sent me. I mean, he makes a lot of different things. This is just some of the things that he had on hand that he wanted me to take a look at. So the first thing out of the bag is a set of leather cuffs. I'm assuming he makes this style of cuff for the wrist or the ankle. This one's in brown leather. I think it's safe to say he probably could make it in black leather as well. It has a locking roller buckle and a couple of D-rings. And for a leather cuff, the leather on the inside is a little softer than the leather on the outside. It's more durable. This one, I have a pretty small wrist. So this one would be for someone that has a little bit bigger wrist than me, or it could be an ankle cuff. But those are nice. And I do not know pricing. I tend to not talk about pricing in my toy reviews, just simply because, you know, prices go up and down, and this video will be up for hopefully for a number of years. And so if you're interested in a good quality set of leather cuffs, the link will be in the description below of how to contact TheIrishScott. So I'm always amazed at leather crafters and what they come up with, and how many different things you can do with leather. And this particular strap is an example of the versatility of leather and what can be done with it. I'm going to come up and give you a close-up in a minute, but just generally speaking, it has a wrist loop and it's on a swivel. This clip can be taken off or put on. We'll show it with it on first. And then it's a leather chain that's been crafted with what I call a slapper or a strap. So the idea would be, you know, you swing it and use it for impact play on someone's back or butt. You know, any toy, you always want to check on your own forearm, get an idea what it feels like before it's used on someone else. But the interesting thing about this design and the versatility of it is that if you take the wrist loop off and turn it around and use the slapper as a handle, then this becomes a braided chain of leather that's going to create a different sensation than if it was turned around and the slapper was used. So it's it becomes more versatile that way. Versatility in toys is important. You can imagine if you're playing with this in the dungeon, one toy can now function as actually two toys. So it's kind of like two for the price of one, just because an inventive leather crafter came up with a creative idea. So I always applaud creativity. And this is made out of really nice leather. I'm gonna come up close so you can get a close-up look at the leather chain that he designed to put together, The slapper's put together with just a heavy brad, and it's nicely made, very nicely made. Interesting toy. Never seen one quite that design. So then the other toy he sent us is a flogger. This flogger looks like it's made out of red leather. It's actually 2 pieces of leather. It looks like probably glued together. The inside's black, the outside's red top grain, and he's kind of done a braid wraparound handle around an eyebolt and leather sewn. It's a piece of leather for the handle, and then it's stitched and sewn together. And the eyebolt is then put on a swivel, and it's done for finger flogging. I counted these ahead of time. There's 10 tails in this, but I'm going to show you what I find interesting about this. And I haven't talked to the TheIrishScott. That's nice. And it's balanced and it swings nice. So it's designed as a finger flogger. Typically, finger floggers have a few less tails than a traditional handled flogger because you're swinging them and using the wrist loops. And I don't know, I didn't ask the TheIrishScott if he did this on purpose, but if you take the finger flogger off, you now have a regular handled flogger. Some people actually prefer to flog with a traditional handled flogger as opposed to a finger flogger. So again, a leather crafter's created some versatility in his flogger making, in that this is a regular handled flogger, and when you put the swivel on it, it is also a finger flogger. Now, the interesting thing that I found when I examined this was when you take, it swings really well with the finger flogger attachment on, but when you take the swivel and the finger loops off and use it as a traditional flogger, he's taken the time to balance that flogger. I know so many traditional flogger makers that are making floggers and they don't take the time to balance the handle. Now, I don't know if this was intentional or was just luck, but this handle's balanced. If you're going to use it as a traditional flogger, the handle's balanced. You prefer finger floggers, or you just want a little different versatility in the dungeon, you put the swivel on and you've got these loops and you have a finger flogger. So it's like 2 for the price of 1. So you got a twofer, I'm going to call them twofers. You got a twofer in this design of the strap, and you actually have a twofer in just a flogger. So kudos to the TheIrishScott. I think these are interesting, very interesting. It always amazes me what leather crafters can come up with. A new little design, a new little twist. But these are not only functional and well made, but you have versatility in the design so that the end user has a choice as to how he or she wants to play with these. So thanks for tuning in for a toy review. As always, thanks for watching The Leather Journey. Remember, if you like this channel, to subscribe, ring the bell, and leave an appropriate comment. As always, peace and be well tonight, and we'll see you down the road with a new video.